Hi guys, welcome back to Bellyacre's Kitchen. It's been a minute, you guys, but I don't know what happened. Like, the bottom fell out last night as I'm shooting this. Last night we had tornado warnings. We spent a little bit of time down in the cellar. It was crazy, and then we got up this morning and it was cold and it did not warm up much. I subbed today at the middle school, and it did not get warm today. I mean, we have the heater going. So I thought, what a better time to make some soup. So I'm going to make some taco soup tonight. Super easy. There's so many recipes. It's really soup. Everything that I make is very versatile. You can put anything you like in it. Some people put black beans in it. I like black beans. Black beans don't really like me. You can put pinto beans in it. I don't have any beans cooked, and I don't have any canned beans. Well, I have some black-eyed peas, but I think that would just be pushing it a little. So I'm just going to make it with whatever I have. So let's go ahead and get it done. You guys, I did the Pampered Chef, did a Pampered Chef virtual party a couple of weeks ago, and I was able to get the Pampered Chef versatile cooker. It's an instant pot, but the Pampered Chef version of it. And I am so excited. I've already cooked something in it. I love it. You know, whenever we were still waiting to get the stove in, I used my little bitty instant pot, and I loved it. I used it until the Saute feature stopped working. So I have this, and this is what I'm going to cook the taco soup in, because it's just super easy to get it done. It does come with a little rack that you can put in there. You can either use it this way and to be able to steam stuff, put water underneath and keep whatever it is above it, or you can put it this way, and like if you have a whole chicken or whatever, it's easy to just lift that out, you know, or lower it in. So, I mean, not with your hands, of course, but with help. It is a 6-quart, so it is nice and big, and I'm super excited to be able to use this now. All right, you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get my versatile cooker going. It does have an on and off switch in the back, which makes it nice because then you don't ever have to unplug it. And then I am going to choose my sear at 20 minutes. Temperature on high. Nope. And then I'm going to go ahead and let it start warming up. While it warms up, I'm going to chop up some onion, and I am going to get some butter and then peel some garlic really quick. And that's what I'm going to use in my hamburger meat. So let's do this. I almost always have a half of an onion in the refrigerator. Most things I put half of an onion in, so the other half is usually in the refrigerator. I'm going to get a couple of cloves of garlic out of here that I can put in with the hamburger meat. When I say a couple, I think it's usually like 4. So 4 cloves of garlic. Alright, so that is warming up. It's still preheating. It has a cute little LED screen here that kind of tells you. It's very easy to read. So I am super excited about that. That preheat is just about done. See if you guys can see this over here. See, we are still in preheat. But I am going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of butter into the bottom of that. Oh, see, and it's already on cook. Okay, and then I'm going to add a half of a chopped onion. And I'm going to start that cooking down. While that is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and take my garlic cloves. I ended up with 4.5 because that one had a little one in it. And I've got my garlic press. Okay. I put like 3 in there. And once you get the garlic in there, you do want to be very observant because the garlic can burn very easily. And I don't know if you've ever had burnt garlic in anything, but it kind of overpowers everything. The flavor of burnt garlic kind of just overpowers everything. Okay, stir that around. My onions look like they are getting a little translucent, but it really doesn't matter because it's going to cook down as well. So let's add some hamburger in here. This is probably 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds of hamburger. We're just going to mix all of that in. Now I am going to go ahead and season the meat at this point, and then I'll probably add more seasoning to the soup. Alright, so of course I am going to salt the meat. I know, it's a lot of salt. And then it already has garlic in it, so I'm not going to add any more garlic to that because it has fresh garlic, but I am going to add my chili powder. And I'm going to add ground cumin. Let me finish this bottle first. About finished this bottle here. Now I do like to save my spice bottles because I do like to dehydrate fresh herbs, and then I have bottles I can put them in. Alright, so now I did just remember that I had some Anaheim peppers in there, and they are starting to get a little wilty. So I am going to take 2 of them out. Probably be this one because this one already has a little bad spot. So I can cut that bad spot out. But I can for sure add these to the soup. It'll give it a good flavor to some green chilies. I do have some tomato with green chilies here that I can put in it as well. Alright, see if I can get you guys to see this without all the steam. See all of this oil in the bottom? Let me move it this way so you guys can see it on that side. Alright, I do want to get rid of some of that oil, but I don't want to get rid of all of that oil because I do like our taco soup to be a little bit on the thicker side. So I'm going to drain some of this oil out. Alright, this is not hot. The bottom is hot, but the rim is not. So that's super nice. And I am going to drain a lot of that oil out. I left just a little bit in there. I did drain quite a bit. So there you go. That's how much I drained out of there. Put this right back over here. And then I'm going to take some cornstarch. I'm going to put a little bit, probably tablespoon and a half of cornstarch in there. And I'm going to let that cook together. I can get you guys to see this. There's so much steam in it that it's so hard. Okay. All right. I need to get you guys a little bit taller so y'all can see what's going on in that pot. There we go. All right. Let's see what's cooking. I'm going to go ahead and start adding in some cans. This is a can of diced tomatoes and green chilies, also known as Rotel, if you get the other brand of it. And then I'm going to add in a can of corn. You can add in 2 cans of corn. You can add in black beans. You can add in tomato sauce at this point. I mean, whatever it is that you like, you know, you think of. It's got the taco seasoning in it, so it's beautiful. Right. And then I have a jar of chicken broth that I canned in November when we processed chickens. And I use a sieve because sometimes whenever you can chicken broth, you do end up with residue. And you can put that in there and that's just fine. Or you can take it out and then you don't have to worry about that sitting in your soup somewhere. Usually it will just disintegrate and it's not that big of a deal. But just to be on the safe side there. Okay. So I did a whole quart of the chicken broth. Alright, so I'm going to bring you guys over here. You can see these are puffed up and see how they have changed color. They're not quite as dark green as they were. I'm going to go ahead and put them in a plastic bag and seal it up so that they will start to sweat, so I can peel them here in just a little bit. Alright, what I'm going to add to this now, so I'm going to go ahead and add a packet of ranch seasoning mix. And then I'm going to go ahead and check the flavor on it to see if I need to add salt or any more taco seasonings. You want a piece of meat?
Piece of meat. Checking the flavor flavor.
Checking the flavor flavor. So when my youngest son was little, he wouldn't say, "You want a piece of me?" You know, him and my sister would play, you know, banter back and forth, and she'd say, "You want a piece of me?" And he'd say, "You want a piece of meat?" So here we go. We're going to have this piece of meat. It has heat. It has salt. It's good. Now that chicken broth that I can does not have salt in it, so I'm always a little concerned about if it's going to need salt. Of course, I added a lot of salt at the beginning, but I may add another can of diced tomatoes to that, just because I just feel like it needs a little more of something. Alright, I decided to do another can of diced tomatoes. This diced tomatoes, okay, Walmart is really starting to step up their game, which once our garden starts producing, we won't be buying these anymore. But I did notice that it has onion, celery, and green bell pepper in this one. And you can get some with garlic and oregano, and you can get some with garlic and olive oil. And I mean, they just have some really great options. I did go ahead and add the tomatoes because normally I would put a can of beans in this, some sort of beans. But like I said, the only thing close to beans that I have is black-eyed peas, and I just don't think that'll go. So So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let that continue to simmer in the pot here until my my green peppers are ready to peel, and then, or until the timer goes off, and then I'll peel the green peppers and put them in. I did peel and dice those green chilies and added them in here, and I'm just trying to make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom. And I don't have to pressure cook this, or cook it any longer, like pressure cook it in the versatile cooker, because it is already cooked. So I don't want to, cook everything down to nothing. So, I mean, everything I put in there, the hamburger meat and everything else is already cooked. So we're going to leave it there. And it is boiling really nicely, and it's thickening up with that cornstarch. And it is beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and dice up some green onions from the greenhouse that we harvested the other day, so that we can top it with that. We'll top it with some cheese. Normally we'll do some we would do some sour cream, but I'm out of sour cream, and I didn't realize it till I got started. But we do have some tortilla chips, and so we've got 10 minutes left on this. I'm going to let it boil for another 10 minutes, and then while I'm chopping everything up. Alright, this is just a little tip. Store your green onions or your chives. Store them in ice water. Like, these are a little flimsy because my water has warmed up. But if I add ice to this and let it sit for a little while, it will harden back up. But they're not terrible, because I have been, I've had them in the refrigerator. I just usually put them in ice water and then stick them in the refrigerator and just store them that way. And as you can see, can you see how they're cutting? They're not soggy. They're super crisp. And this is something you can do, radishes, celery. If it starts to get wilty, green lettuce is the same way. You just stick it in some ice water. Make sure you're changing your water out, though, if you're going to keep them stored that way for a long time, so then that way you don't grow any bacteria in the water. But and then I just usually store it in the refrigerator. But I think that's plenty of green onions to go on top of 3 bowls of soup. And if we want more, we still have some more. You can also put them in a plastic bag and stick them in the refrigerator. Whichever works better for you. And I just push them down into the water, and then some saran wrap, some plastic wrap, and cover that up. And I'm going to stick it back in the refrigerator. I will probably be using these onions in the next couple of days, so I'm not real concerned about them. I'm just going to keep them in the water and put them in the refrigerator. Alright, so I'm going to give you guys another little tip here. If you don't have sour cream and you really like what sour cream does to stuff like taco soup, so it's kind of a cooling nature, and it also gives it a little bit of that sour flavor. You're going to add cheese to your soup anyway. Just take a block of cold cheese, cold cream cheese from the refrigerator, and piece it up in little dollops. And then anybody that wants to can add a little dollop of cream cheese to their soup. And what that does is it's still going to give that cooling nature to your soup, but it's also going to make it a little bit creamy because it's that cream cheese. So just going to do that. All right, I'm not even going to give Rusty an option here, because he'll eat just about anything I give him. Don't tell him I said that, but he will. So let's see. I'm going to fix this up the way I would like it. So look at all of those ingredients in there. Even without the beans, it is beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of that juice. I mean, it's not really soup unless it's soupy, right? And then we're going to bring it over here. And then, what did I do with the, oh, there they are. Okay. We are going to add some, I've got some mild cheddar here. Oh, first we're going to add a couple of dollops of cream cheese, because he will want cream cheese. Normally it would be sour cream. And then we're going to add some cheese on top of that. And then a little bit of fresh green onions from the garden. Okay. And then just going to dump some of these on a plate for him. And we're going to see his reaction, and then we'll serve up Desi and I. So, Rusty, do you want to come try this?
On my way.
All right, no pressure or anything. So you're going to try it with the little tortilla chips. You can also serve it with Fritos or Doritos, or just make it your own. It's a super quick and easy meal, and it's great for a colder evening.
That's awesome.
Yeah?
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we got the stamp of approval from Rusty. He's kind of our taste tester. So, yeah, quick, easy. It's a good winter meal, but it's also a good cooler spring day meal. It's definitely comfort, and it's very versatile. Just like just about anything that I make, throw what you have in there and make it happen. You don't have to run to the store. You don't have to watch this video and say, I need exactly these ingredients. If you have chicken instead of ground beef, if you have sausage instead of, just make it your own. Make it your own. All of the above, then that's good too. All right, you guys, so I hope you like our videos. If you do, please hit the like button.
Subscribe if you haven't already.
Yep, share with your friends.
Leave us some comments, you guys. Let Rachel know what you think about this recipe. But most of all, don't forget to smash that bell and get notified of the next new video when it comes out.
Yep, until next time, you guys, God bless.
See ya.